mga partner, yung Court of Appeals junk the petition filed by Sunshine Media Network International o SMNI that sought to stop the 30-day suspension order issued by the National Telecommunications Commission against the network for the alleged violation of its franchise terms. In a 5-page resolution promulgated on January 4, January 4, tama ba? Thursday of last week, but only made public on Sunday.
O di kahapon.
Kahapon, na mga partner.
Mainit pa to.
Oo. The 14th Division of the CA dismissed the petition for certiorari and mandamus with the application for a temporary restraining order and or preliminary injunction filed by Suara Sug Media Corporation, which does business and broadcasting under the name SMNI through its councils led by commercial pa to. Paano ko ba ito Rex Suplico o Rolex Suplico.
Okay. Kasi ganito yan, gusto ko maliwanagan yung mga ano natin, mga kayubi ha. Kasi, syempre, nagkaroon ng decision. Nagkaroon ng order, cease and desist or suspension ng 30 days, di ba? Nag-issue ang NTC laban sa SMNI. Na kumbaga, hindi kayo pwedeng mag-operate for 30 days. Ayan o, 30-day suspension order by the NTC. So, ito ngayon ay kanilang, nag-file sila ng petition agad sa Court of Appeals.
On December 21, the National Telecommunications Commission, or NTC, suspended the operations of Sunshine Media Network International on radio and television. This move came after the House of Representatives passed a resolution urging the NTC to suspend the network due to alleged violations. For SMNI, this was unacceptable, especially since the network was not given the opportunity to explain and respond to the NTC's show cause order before the suspension was imposed. It should be noted that immediately after issuing the show cause order, the NTC promptly enforced the suspension order, making it immediately executory. This suggests that the NTC imposed a penalty on the network even before the scheduled hearing on the allegations. Hence, on Thursday morning, SMNI, through its lawyers, Attorney Mark Delentino and Attorney Rolex Suplico, approached the Court of Appeals to file a complaint against the NTC. The network filed for certiorari and mandamus, accompanied by an appeal urging the CA to issue a temporary restraining order and or preliminary injunction to halt the implementation of the suspension order.
Pumunta kami dito para humingi ng hustisya sa pang-aabuso ng ahensya ng gobyerno. Yan po ay National Telecommunications Commission. Sinupil nila ang aming karapatan sa mamahayang papahayag without giving us our day in court. Imagine mo, hindi kami binigyan. Kung ito ay mangyayari sa SMNI, ito ay maaaring mangyari mas kanino man dito ngayon sa press conference na ito.
We were given 15 days to file our response sa NTC. But ang problema nito, binigyan nga kami ng pagkakataon na mag-respond but may suspension na. So in this case, that is a grave violation ng ating saligang batas, yung tinatawag na grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction. So wala silang jurisdiction na ginagawa nito, inabuso po nila yung kapangyarihan nila.
Siyempre, partner, pag ito hindi na-explain, iisipin ng iba, naku, kinikitil talaga ang freedom of expression. Pati sa korte, natalo sila.
Ginikipit talagang papunta na doon yung plano.
Diba?
Yung iba iniisip, ako, ano yan? May kinalaman yan sa nalalapit na election. May halong politika yan.
May ganun yan. Ako, martial law ng dating. Binubusala ng bibigang SMNI. Kasi ganun yan, partner. Correct. Especially yung iba mga nagba-vlog na hindi nila alam yung batas. Kapag nakadinig sila ng binubusala na, partner, kakalat yun. Yun din yung gagawin nilang vlog without knowing ano nangyari sa Court of Appeals. Okay?
Partner, paki-explain nga yung rules of court na sinasabi nga na sabi ng korte rito ang dahilan kung bakit dinismiss yung kanilang yung kanilang petition for certiorari and mandamus with the application for temporary restraining order. Okay.
Kasi ganito yan, partner. So, di ba kung may order man ang NTC, di ba kino-question nila, bakit nagbigay agad ng order of suspension wala pang hearing? Wala pang hearing.
Correct.
So, kasi partner, meron namang rules. Okay? Basahin natin ang rules. Ito ay 2006 Rules of Practice and Procedure before the NTC, National Telecommunications Commission. Okay. Ang sinasabi dito, ang commission mismo may file.
Oo.
Okay? Section 3 Section 3 Section 3 Rule 10 Complaints. Sabi dito, the commission may file or initiate a complaint based on the report of the appropriate department, division, unit concerned, or any employee personnel deputized by the commission. Okay, sabi yan, any report of any appropriate department, Okay? Sa partner, di ba, kapag may complaint at nakita naman ng NTC na dapat itong masampa ng kaso, partner, motu proprio, ibig sabihin on its own, pwede itong magsampa ng complaint. Okay? Dito kasi, partner, ang binasihan ng suspension is hindi complaint, kundi yung resolution ng House. Okay?
The House of Representatives is urging the National Telecommunications Commission to suspend the operations of SMNI for allegedly violating the terms of its franchise. The House adopted House Resolution 1499 hours after the Legislative Franchises Panel uncovered more red flags in the company's operations. The committee invited Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, but he was a no-show, telling lawmakers he's no longer involved with SMNI.
I have not been an officer of Swara Sug Media Corporation from the time of the enactment of Republic Act 1442 up to the present. Hence, I must respectfully send my regrets.
SMNI's lawyer said Kibuloy donated his 1.5% share in Suarasug Media Corporation to a cooperative sometime in 2021 or 2022. Republic Act 11422 passed in 2018 granted Suarasug a franchise to operate a broadcast network for 25 years. He insists Kibuloy is no longer involved in the company. But lawmakers say Kibuloy can be considered the ultimate beneficial owner of SMNI as recently as 2022. That's because Marlon Acobo was only appointed the executive pastor of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ Church on December 19, 2022. Documents submitted to the Securities and Exchange Commission show the church's executive pastor holds the biggest share in Suarasug. Before the hearing, Tambunting said SMNI host Jeffrey Celis identified his source for the information about Speaker Martin Romualdez's alleged 1.8 billion peso travel fund.
There is a source. Okay, and I will have to discuss this, of course, with the committee.
So, anong ginawa nila? Kasi may resolution na pinasa ang House na dapat na urging NTC na isuspend ito because of the violations. At that time, ang representative ng NTC nandoon
sa House
sa
mismo.
House, sa hearing.
Okay.
Kaya sabi naman ng panig ng SMNI ay hindi pwede ganoon. Iba yung hearing doon, iba yung investigation ng NTC para makasagot kami. Okay? Pero gusto ko lang i-recall gusto ko lang kayong paalalahanan na meron dating naging case actually, di ba yung ABS-CBN? 2020 pa na nagkaroon ng hearing about the violation. Diba?
So,
sa House.
Yeah, sorry pardon. So, ibig sabihin, yung ginawang investigation ng House na sinasabi mo nga, nandun na yung NTC din as a resource bilang resource person. Kinokonsidera na yun parte ng investigasyon din ng NTC.
Oo. Kasi bakit? Kasi
Yeah.
nga, itong NTC, they can file the complaint on its own. Pwede sila mag-imbestiga on its own, motu proprio. Okay, so, pagka, di ba, may complaint. Halimbawa, sinabi niya ngayon sa, ito, parte, i-recall ko lang yung sa ABS-CBN. Ganon din yung sinasabi ni Congressman Marcoleta. Ito lang 2022. Sabi niya doon sa NTC, 2020 pa to. Ba tinutulugan ng NTC yung violations ng ABS-CBN? Di ba? Tapos sabi niya, meron siya sinabi doon na ang NTC nga can make a probe, can investigate on its own.
The violations. I'm not still mentioning the violations about the PDRs, which is supposed to be the jurisdiction of the Securities and Exchange Commission, as well as the tax evasion schemes that they have employed, Mr. Chairs. Dahil nangako pa ang BIR dito, these are all obligations that the NTC should have investigated in the first place. Kahit naman siguro walang magdemanda o magasunto sa inyong opisina, Mr. Chairman, motu proprio kasi kasama kayo nung inimbestigahan natin yan. At ito ay public knowledge. Paano po nangyari yan? Ito po lahat ay obligation. Kaya nga po ang sinasabi natin dito, kinakailangan pa payagan natin sa kagad na makasakay sa ibang prangkisa nang hindi po nasa-settle itong napakaraming mga sagutin na ito at obligation na taong bayan na po ang nakakalam. Nung tayo po ay nagkaroon ng malawakang public hearing dito, hindi po dapat ganun lang. Kailangan pong masettle muna ito. Bakit hindi muna po nila kasi isettle, ayusin, bayaran ng dapat bayaran, Hindi yung makikisakay ka na lang na parang business as usual na lang, Mr. Chair.
So, ibig sabihin, especially if it is public, if it is in the interest of public service or welfare or security of the state. Okay? So, ngayon, kung pwede sila mag-file on its own, they can use the resolution. Diba? Kaya nga sila nagpapa-show-cause order ngayon sa SMNI. Pero, pagkabigay ng show-cause order, diba, na cease and desist na sila. Suspend. So, kaya ang sabi ngayon ng SMNI, teka lang, wala pang hearing, ba't kami suspend? Ano yan? Violation of due process yan. Pero sabi nga, kung
kasi
ito,
hindi sila binigyan ng pagkakataon to explain.
Pero sabi nga natin, ito kasi sabi, pending hearing and final consideration of the case, Section 4 to, the Commission may, in the interest of public service, welfare and security of the state, diba? And or where the respondent does not have any authority from the Commission to install, operate, and maintain the service facility upon motion or motu proprio, issue a cease and desist order. So in other words, diba, nung binigyan kayo ng show cause order, meron na yung supposed to be hearing. Diba? Kasi binibigyan nga kayo ng time to comment. Kasi may show cause eh. Okay? Now, ibig sabihin, pending tayo na maghihiring, pwede nilang i-cease and desist order, magkaroon ng cease and desist order sa pag-ooperate mo. So, yun ngayon yung question, walang due process. Okay? And the problem is, di ba sabi nga natin...
Pero during the hearing ba, partner, ng House. Congress, nandoon yung representative ng SMNI?
Pati SEC. Oo, nandoon yung SMNI. Dalawang lawyers pa nandoon, si Attorney Tolentino and Attorney Suplico.
Anong assessment po ninyo, sir, sa nagdaang pagdinig sa mababang kapulungan, third time sa franchise ng SMNI?
Napaka-challenging yung hearing doon kasi first time kasi I've been in practice for almost more than 15 years but almost 8 hours ang hearing na parang ginigisa ka, hindi marunong makinig yung mga congressman. Ang gusto nila pakinggan, yung gusto lang nila. Kung ayaw nila pakinggan, may possibility na ma-contempt ka. So yun ang naramdaman ko in that hearing. But of course, I'll try my best to be humble as possible just to fix lang tayo sa argument natin. And yung SMNI, we complied all the rules. Wala tayong na-violate na provisions doon sa franchise natin. And we believe na we have the right to due process. And of course, nakalagay po kasi sa ating saligang batas with respect sa mga congressman na may yung kanilang legislative inquiry kailangan only in aid of legislation, na hindi naman sila mga piskal. Aid of legislation, and of course, may obligasyon sila na irespeto ang mga resource person. Kasi kami naman doon, as a lawyer ng SMNI, bisita po kami doon sa house. So as a bisita, kailangan bibigyan sana kami ng due respect, but unfortunately, parang wala, parang pambubuli, parang sigaw-sigawan ka, papahiyain ka, kahit ano lang pinagtatanong, na wala sa goal, wala sa agenda, wala sa subject of the investigation. So yun ang nangyari. But we tried our best to answer every tanong nila na sa kaya natin na masagot.
At I have with me here, Mr. Chair. Okay.
Yes. Can you please, Mr. Chair?
Adopted on December 19, 2022.
So 2022. Okay. And attached there is a transfer, a certificate of appointment.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
That's the basis, Mr. Chair, for the transfer of the new trustee.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So,
December 19, 2022. Signed by Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, appointing Brother Marlon B. Acobo.
So, now it's Brother Marlon Acobo who has the same powers previously of Pastor Kibuloy of
yes,
the
by
controlling interest.
Yes, by succession, Mr. Chair.
Let me direct you to, did you get the prior approval of Congress for this shift of controlling interest in 2022?
Mr. Chair, may I be allowed to answer that? Okay, tag team, the Honorable Rolex. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, section. Meron natin. Meron mong tatlong instances. Each are independent of each other. Question. There was a change in controlling interest, which also requires you to seek the approval of Congress.
Prior to the change.
Did you do it? Yes or no? Mr. Chairman, no, Mr. Chair, can I ask
Mr. Chair,
Attorney Tolentino, binigay nyo Attorney Supreme, kukunin nyo ulit. Hindi nyo nga masagot kanina eh. I can answer that, Mr. Chair.
I'm not asking about his retiring, Mr. Chair. It's the transfer of the controlling interest.
Alam po ba kayo hindi? Yun lang ako tatanong ni Kong Mix.
Mr. Chair, kung hindi na lang nila sasagutin, si Comsec na lang po.
Comsec, per our records, Comsec, since hindi mo masagot nung Attorney Tolentino, hindi mo masagot ng lead ka. Attorney Rolex,
Mr. Chairman, we have submitted our annual reports
to Congress. And it's contained there. Did you ask for prior approval? Prior approval? No, yes. But did you ask permission? No, we did not. We Mr. Chairman, point of clarification. Thank you very much. Okay, inform Congress.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As far as the committee secretariat record is concerned, there was no prior, they did not seek for a prior approval of any transfer of their franchise.
Thank you very much.
Diba? So, kapag tinanong mo kasi sila talaga at that time, kulang-kulang yung papel nila. Pag tinanong, sabi, we are not aware of that. May kulang.
Oo.
Diba? So, tapos samantalang during the hearing, mga kayubi kasi sabi ko medyo nasundan ko to, lahat ng in-enumerate ni Congresswoman Nograles, hindi bigyan ng sagot, ng convincing na sagot.
And when you amended your AOI from a non-stock to a corporation sole, were you able to convene these 4 million members from all around the world?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to manifest that there was no amendment from stock to corporation sole, Mr. Chair. Okay. Per record, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Can we show na lang po the GIS that you in your certificate of filing of amendment of articles of incorporation didn't you change from your non-stock to a corporation sole? Napaulit-ulit yung binibigyan ng, di ba, linalabas corporation sole. Ngayon, are you recanting? What is the good lawyer recanting now that there's no corporation sole? There's no amendment? Parang nililito po tayo, Mr. Chair, so can he...
Attorney, I think that's a misdeclaration, your statement earlier with this document.
So based on my personal knowledge, Mr. Chair...
We're not asking. This is a document that you submitted.
These are documents already. I mean, alam po ninyo, pag nagsasabi yung... Tingnan nyo na yung dokumento para maging tugma.
Anyway, so... Kita naman po natin may dokumento na they submitted, no? So, again, 2/3 of the membership, you have 7 million and an estimate is 4 million. And now you're saying you don't know how they convened or whatsoever. Walang pictures of this milestone to have 4 million. It's such a big, diba, event all over the world.
So, may I know the question, Mr. Chair?
Do you have any proof
that you've convened?
The membership?
That is an estimate, Mr. Chair.
No, we're talking of any proof that you convened.
Yes, because as stated here in your certificate of filing of amended articles of incorporation, which you submitted to the SEC and you submitted to Congress as part of your repertorial requirements, on November 8th, you got the vote of at least 2/3 of the members of the corporation, right?
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
And this is to amend to make it a corporation. So,
Attorney,
I only answered that, Mr. Chair, that I'm not the lawyer of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ. I'm the lawyer of SMNI, Mr. Chair. I have no personal knowledge about the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, Mr. Chair.
but I have a question. Don't you think you should have some working knowledge about this, since this you're representing SMNI, of which the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, the sole corporation, is part of, or majority of? I mean, how can you detach yourself from that argument, di ba? Na dapat hindi ko kayo pwede magtago ron eh. Kasi with due diligence yan. As a lawyer, you come here, you're supposed to come here prepared and have the answers. And you cannot waste the time of all the resource persons, and including the members of Congress.
Sorry for that, Mr. Chair.
Yes, that's why, if you keep on saying that you are not, I mean, you should, boss, third hearing na po natin to. You should be prepared to answer these questions already. Tapos, there's another lawyer that comes in just to deliver a letter. So, I mean, I don't understand. You have to be able to answer these questions.
Binibigyan naman sila ng pagkakataong sumagot. Sila lang talaga ang kulang-kulangan dokumento at hindi ready na sagutin yung ibang mga katanungan ng SMNI, ng attorney. Diba? Kasi, partner, yung mga pagkakamali sa SEC, hindi pagkakamali eh. 2 dokumento magkaiba. Pinasa.
Minimislead yata tayo ng sulat na to. Kasi even after the enactment of the franchise agreement, siya pa rin po ay officer ng corporation.
Lawmakers also noticed discrepancies in the corporate documents submitted by Suarezug to Congress and the SEC.
Ito pong submission ng GIS to Congress, which has the beneficial ownership declaration, ito pong binasa ko, ito po ay wala po dun sa submission sa SEC.
Iba yung sinabi nyo sa SEC, ibang sinabi nyo sa committee. Ano po totoo doon?
Yung totoo po, yung sa SEC po.
So, fake ko yun na dito.
So, ano ibig sabihin nun, partner? May falsification nun. 2 government agencies, pinasahan mo na magkaibang dokumento about sa reportorial requirement. Tapos yung mga change of ownership na hindi inform ang house. And at the same time, violations ng KBP, maliwanag doon, partner. Hindi naman nila ma-deny na may violations din sila ng rules ng KBP. So, i-assume natin. Ngayon, so nag-file sila ng petition, gusto nilang itanong ngayon sa korte, mali ang ginawa ng NTC. Kasi it's a violation of due process dahil hindi man lang muna kami pinasagot bago ordera ng paghinto.
O pinatawag doon mismo sa NTC.
Diba?
O binigyan sila ng partner. Pagkakataon ng NTC. Kasi siyempre, ang iniisip nila, iba yung hearing yung hearing na kinandag doon sa sa Congress, sa kanila yun eh.
Yes. Yun ang
in aid of legislation.
Yun ang kanilang ginagamit na cause of action na may abuse of discretion ang NTC. So ngayon, this is just an order, partner, hindi to final decision. So pag order, interlocutory pa lang to, partner. Ibig sabihin, wala pa tayo sa on the merits, order pa lang eh. Ang pwede mong i-remedy, partner, talaga is petition for certiorari because you will be questioning the grave abuse of discretion of the agency. Ano ang pagkakamali nila dito? Mga kayubi, ito hindi pwedeng hindi pwedeng ibintang to sa administrasyon at baka sabihin nga pinuputulan sila or pinapakip quiet ang SMNI. Hindi po. Bakit na-dismiss? Kasi ganito. Hindi sila muna nagsampa ng motion for reconsideration. It's a requirement. Bago ka umakyat sa korte, i-exhaust mo lahat yung remedy doon sa nasabing ahensya. So it's a requirement. Fatal yun, partner.
Hindi alam yun ng abogado nila?
Hindi ko alam kung ano sinabi nila, ba't hindi sila nag-file ng motion for reconsideration. Pero because of that failure to file motion for reconsideration before going up to the Court of Appeals.
Kasi pag sinasabi mo, ganun talaga yung proseso dapat.
Dapat.
Diba? Ganun yung proseso. Nasa rules pala yun. Sigurado lahat ng mga abogado alam yan.
Yes.
Kasi diba yan ang rules eh.
Okay. Meron kasi ganito sitwasyon, partner. May mga pagkakataon na I will not anymore file a motion for reconsideration because it would be useless kasi may abuso. Ganon eh. Pwedeng ganon, partner. Hindi ko nabasa yung complaint nila pero mukhang ganon ang lumabas. Pero yun nga yung reason, partner eh. Kaya ka nagpa-file ng petition for certiorari. It's because ang ground mo is may abuso. But before you can go to court and file a petition to question the alleged abuse, grave abuse of discretion, you have to file a motion for reconsideration bago, to give the agency the chance to correct itself kung may pagkakamali. Yon. So ano sabi sa decision, partner? Di ba? Sabi niya dito, petitioner, sabi ng Court of Appeals, petitioner may not arrogate to themselves. Ibig sabihin, huwag niyong i-presume sa sarili niyo. Kung kailan niyo i-determine kung kailan kayo magpa-file ng motion for reconsideration o kung hindi kayo magpa-file ng motion for reconsideration. Because that is a requirement.
Sabi mo nga, parte ng rules yun.
Parte ng rules. Ito nga, partner, Rule 13. Rule 13, no? Sabi nga dito, motion for reconsideration, diba? So, any order, partner, any party adversely affected by the decision, order, or resolution may, within 15 days from the receipt of the copy thereof, file a motion for reconsideration. So, it's a requirement. So, ngayon.
So, maybe they are expecting, partner, that NTC ang a-action muna. Kaya hindi sila muna gumawa ng hagbang dyan.
Hindi nga kasi umaksyon na yung NTC partner.
Oo, kaya nga yung sabi mo, using the resolution doon sa ginawang hearing.
So alam mo, di ba ngayon, alam mo mali. Alam mo mali yung ginawa, sabi mo mali. Di ba? Di nag-motion ka muna for reconsideration para malift yung 30-day suspension order. Ang ginawa nila, diretso agad sila sa Court of Appeals. So sabi ng Court of Appeals, hindi pwede. Hindi mo in-exhaust lahat eh. Kung umakit ka agad sa akin, hindi mo inaalam, baka ma-realize ng NTC kung mali sila o hindi. Dapat doon ka muna humingi ng aksyon. So, yun. Kaya natin to pinapaliwanag, partner, kasi, di ba, magkakaroon na naman to ng kakaibang interpretasyon. Ang sasabihin, ang lakas talaga ng administrasyon. Inaapi ang SMNI. Kasi pag nakita lang nila, court junks, SMNI petition, without knowing
the details,
ang iisipin mo talaga, Naku, ang freedom of expression, mamamatay na.
Inaabuso na naman yung kapangyarihan, partner.
Yun.
At mukhang may halong politika na naman ang iisipin nila rito.
Yes. Imagine mo, partner, ha? Itong case na to, ha? The court said, kailan lang ba nila ito final?
Partner, ang ko lang dyan, pinagtatakahan ko, ba't hindi ito ginawa ng kanilang legal legal counsel? Diba? Kasi sabi mo, kung yan ang yung patakaran dyan, di sana, sumunod sila sa hagbang. Kasi kung talagang gusto nilang may stop, partner, yung yung 30-day suspension. Diba? Kasi patakaran yan
tingin ko, partner, wala na to kasi pang ilang araw na ba ngayon? Wala na, kapos na sila. Magpa-file pa ba sila ng motion for reconsideration? Hindi to. Hindi na to mananalo. Diba? Lalo na hindi to makakakit sa Supreme Court, partner. Si A pa lang, outright dismissal na. O di ang kakatwiranin ng Supreme Court, mali ka. Kasi hindi mo agad in-exhaust yung remedy sa baba. So hindi ka pwede umakyat sa amin.
So tuloy-tuloy to, yung kanilang suspension, partner.
Yung 30-day suspension. Tingin ko, hindi na sila makakaano dito. Wala na hindi na sila makaka-recover dito sa decision na to. Ganun.
Ang ABS ba dati? Sinunod ba nila?
Alam ko nung sinabi.
Ginawa din ba nila? Sumunod sila dun sa rules.
Sila agad. Sumunod sila.
Pero ba't nadali pa rin, partner?
No, kasi wala na silang franchise Hindi na na-renew. So talagang uutusan din sila ng NTC na isara. So sumunod naman agad yung ABS-CBN.
Sabi ni Master Pogi, freedom of expression, my goodness! Everybody already has a word on their social media, etc. Tama. Freedom of expression ngayon, nako, umaabuso na
Pero tandaan natin, Master Pogi, ha? Di ba mga kayubi, ito ang ini-issue sa pag-suspend ng SMNI.
Pero partner, di ba, kasama pa rin ba yung kanilang social media?
Hindi.
Di ba?
Nakaka-ere sila.
Sa social media. Kasi hindi pa yan regulated, alam ko So, hindi pa sakop ng NTC.
Yes. So, sila. Nakaka-ere sila sa social media. Nakakapag-broadcast sila.
Sa social media. Kaya nga
So, marami pa rin naman nakakapanas nila.
Pag sinabi mong freedom of expression, siguro, kung yung freedom of expression talaga rito ang partner, ang issue, ay talaga maghahanap ang gobyerno. Gobyerno.
Yes.
Pati sa social media, talagang partner. Di ba? Gigipitin sila.
Pero partner, alam mo ba yung balita? Na parang mga kayubi, ha? Makikiusap yata itong si
dating Pangulo.
Sige, ikaw na magsabi, partner.
Hindi, narinig ko lang yun, partner.
Sige,
parang gustong makipag-usap kay
PBBM?
Pangulong Marcos tungkol nga rito sa usapin ng SMNI. Well, depende na yan sa Pangulo. Di ba, partner? Sa kung ano ang magiging din niya, action dyan. Kung sakasakali matutuloy yung plano ni dating Pangulong Tatay Diggs na kausapin si PBBM.
Ito, partner, sabi niya dito. Ito, mga kayubi, natin, para meron tayong basihan. Yan, okay? Sabi niya, partner, Malacanang on Sunday said President Marcos is open to a meeting with his predecessor, Rodrigo Duterte, after the former president said on Saturday that he wanted to talk to Mr. Marcos regarding embattled network, Sunshine Media Network International. Diba? So makikiusap siguro siya dahil sabi niya parang yung program niyang gikan sa masa.
Diyan ine-ere.
Dito ine-ere.
President Bongbong Marcos is ready to meet his predecessor, Rodrigo Duterte, after the former president questioned why his program under the Sunshine Media Network International was affected by the ongoing investigation on the network. In a message to reporters on Sunday, Communications Secretary Cheloy Garafil says Marcos is always available to former President Duterte if he wants a meeting. The statement comes after Duterte on Saturday said he wanted to talk to the president about the matter, adding that he has not crucified nor criticized Marcos severely. Duterte co-hosted on SMNI Gikan sa Masa para sa Masa, one of two programs programs that the Movie and Television Review and Classification Board suspended on December 18. The suspension was in part due to Duterte's earlier remarks against ACT Teachers Representative Franz Castro, which prompted the lawmaker to sue the former president for grave threat. On December 21, the National Telecommunications Commission ordered SMNI's operation suspended following a House resolution recommending that action. The House resolution cited the network's alleged violations of terms of its franchise.
Saka hindi, lahat naman yung, pati yung, di ba tama, may program dito si Atty. Harry Roque, si Atty. Panelo. Tama, no? Oh. So yun, hindi ko alam.
Halos lahat, partner. Yung mga nasa dating administrasyon, may programa dyan.
Pero paano siya makikipag-usap? Iko-correlate ko lang din yung nangyari sa ABS-CBN. Diba? Para bang before, gusto niya makiusap sa kanya, pero sabi niya parang wala siyang hand doon.
Giit ng Pangulo, nasa Kongreso na kung aaprubahan ang renewal application nito. At kung mapatutunayan mang nakikialam siya rito, handa ang presidente na magbitiw sa pwesto.
Wala akong, basta sabi ko, tinatanggap ko na yun. Wala akong kinausap. Magtanong kayo, there are about 200 of them. And you can ask anybody. And if there is a congressman would say, if it is true, I will resign. I never really told anybody about this. Even before, wala akong kinausap na tao dito.
Wala siyang magagawa. Ba't ngayon makikipag-usap siya sa presidente? Kung pareho sila ng prinsipyo na wala magagawa ang Pangulo sa desisyon.
Outgoing president went on to admit that he used his presidential powers to call for its shutdown.
Nakawatan ang ABS-CBN. Kaya tinira po talaga sila. I used the presidential powers to tell Congress that you are dealing with scoundrels, and if you continue to kowtow with them, kawawa ang Pilipino.
Teka lang. Ano ba talaga? Nakialam o hindi nakialam? Ano ba talaga yung totoo?
I have no idea what the truth is.
Hindi, kasi ang batas ay batas. Diba?
Diba?
Oo. Ano ba ang dahilan kung bakit pinatawan sila ng 30-day suspension at gustong tanggalin ang kanilang prangkisa? Yan ang Diyan tayo dapat bumalik uli, partner. Oo. Kasi kung idadaan sa pakikipag-usap, abay, para pa, partner, di ba?
Parang pag malakas, pwede pala.
Oo.
Di ba? Pag kaibigan, pwede pala. Di ba? Yun lang yun.
Unless, partner, pag may nakita si dating Pangulong Duterte, di ba, na alinsunod sa patakaran, sa polisiya ng NTC, na pwedeng mabigyan ng konsiderasyon. Yet kung may ganun, partner, sa yung mga violations ng SMNI, baka mahanap pa siguro, partner, ng way. Okay? Anyway, suspended pa lang naman. Hindi pa
tatanggalan ng prangkisa, partner.
Hindi pa dun sa punto na isasara na.
Kasi, partner, inaral mabuti to ni Representative Nograles, partner. Parang hindi nga bababa sa 14 violations ang nagawa ng SMNI. Simulan na doon sa sinasabing fake news. Tapos maliban doon kasi nag-start yung partner doon sa 18B, ay sa 1.B.
Travel expenses. 1.8 billion.
1.8 billion, di ba?
Foreign travel,
Pero mga ka-UB teka lang, dapat talaga ito, ang sabi sa balita, partner, may nagsabi rin sa atin, talaga naman ang allowance, travel allowance ito is parang pumapatak ng 2 billion. 2 billion. So, kung 39 million lang nga daw ang nagastos ni Speaker, saan nadala yung sobra? Dinala kaya sa Treasury?
Binalik
ba? Nagbabalik ba sila?
Well, dahil dyan, magbabalik po kami.
Sige.
Dahil dyan, magbabalik po kami, mga kasama.
Hanggang bukas magkita't magkarinigan nasanay ako kay kay Jenny. Hanggang bukas magkita't magkarinigan tayo. Ako po sa Atty. Claire Castro, nagpapalalang, huwag tulugan ang inyong karapatan.
Mga kasama, abay sama-sama ulit tayo bukas, alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng gabi. Kasama pa rin ang ating nag-iisang abogada ng bayan dito po sa ating palatuntunan, ang Usapang Batas!